Good morning, one and all. In this video lesson, I am going to discuss brake test on DC motors. The brake test is also called as direct test. The DC machines can be tested by three different methods, namely direct method, indirect method, and regenerative method. The direct method of testing of DC machines, also known as brake test. This brake test or direct test method of testing when conducted on a motor is also known as brake test. Brake test of DC motor is carried out as shown in this figure. A belt around the air-cooled pulley as its ends attached to the springs, balances, and using belt tightening hand wheel for loading the motor to adjust its rated value. Like this is a figure. You can see here a belt around the air cooled pulley. This is air cooled pulley, and this is a belt has ends attached to the springs. This is spring 1 and this is spring 2. Consider the load of the motor is adjusted to rated value by changing these wheels. You can see wheels are attached to the spring and a wheel attached to the spring. Assume the spring balance to be calibrated in kilogram. Then the rated load on the DC motor is given as motor output power is equal to torque into angular speed. We already know that torque is equal to force into radius, and we substitute in the above equation to get motor output power is equal to force into radius into angular speed. As the torque, because of the forces F1 and F2 means are opposing each other, therefore the net torque will be subtraction of the torques because of F1 and F2. What is F1 and F2? I will show here. If this is a pulley, these are the springs, two are connected for this. And when it is loading, this is force F1 and this is F2. As the torque because of these forces F1 and F2 are opposing each other, therefore the net torque will be subtraction of the torques because of F1 and F2. Therefore the motor output is equal to angular velocity or angular speed minus S1 minus S2, these are the springs, into radius of the pulley and 9.81 will gives output in watts. Now assume the terminal voltage of DC motor VL, line voltage, and current is line current to be the load current. then the power input to the motor is VLIL. The efficiency of DC motor can be calculated. Efficiency is equal to output by input, where output is equal to, this is a formula, and the input is VLIL will give the efficiency of the motor. For conducting brake test on DC series motor, must be ensured that belt is sufficiently tight. This belt is not loose, sufficiently tight before the motor is switched on. So, you know that DC motors shall not be started at no load. Then coming to this brake test, direct method, applying brake to water cooled pulley. This is a water cooled pulley. While this machine is running, it will be heated. To cool this pulley, we will pour some water. That's why it is called water cooled pulley. And you know that this method is suitable for, this means the brake test is suitable for small DC machines. In direct method or brake test method, the DC machine is subjected to rated load and the entire output power is wasted. The ratio of output power to the input power gives the efficiency of the DC machines. And for DC generator, the output power is wasted in resistor for conducting brake test. The brake band is fixed with the help of wooden blocks gripped the pulley. This is one method as I shown in previous slides. Generally, that is a experimenting method. One end of the band is fixed to the earth via spring balance S, and the other is connected to a suspended weights W1. If this is fixed one, and when we are putting weight on this, then the differences between these two will be the total weight applied on this pulley. The motor is running and the load on the motor is adjusted till its full load current. Let W1 be the suspended weight in kgs, and W2 is the reading of the spring balance in kgs. The net pull due to friction at the pulley is F. Then force F is equal to W1 minus W2 kgs. And we want to convert this force into newtons. Then 1 kg is equal to 9.81 newtons. I'm replacing this kg with 9.81 multiplied, and the force is equal to 9.81. Open the bracket, W1 minus W2, units is newtons. Let R be the radius of the pulley. You can see here, this is the radius of the pulley, and N is the motor or speed in revolutions per second. Then coming to the shaft torque developed by the motor is equal to, if R is the radius of the pulley in meters and N is the motor speed in RPS, shaft torque TSH developed by the motor is, TSH torque is equal to force into radius. This force in kilograms, now we will convert next into newtons. Now this torque is equal to force into radius. Now this is become force and this is radius. Then motor output is equal to 2 pi n TCH. We already know this formula, 2 pi n T by 60 when n is equal to revolutions per minute. Now this is 2 pi and n will be like this. I'm substituting TSH 9.81 and W1 minus W2 into R. in watts. By calculating all this constant, I will get 61.68 is a constant, and the speed W1 minus W2 is the difference in weight and radius of the pulley. Let V is the supply voltage and I is the full load current. Then input power is equal to VI watts. The efficiency is equal to output by input, and the percentage of efficiency is equal to output by input multiplied with 100. Then substituting in this efficiency formula, the output is equal to 61.68 W1 minus W2, open the bracket R, divided by VI. Sorry, this VI is not there. Then coming to the main important features of the brake test, the simple brake test is used for small motors. Why? Because whatever the power is waste during this conduction is wasted. That's why this test is used for only conducting small motors. For large DC motors, brake test is not advantage. Why? Because large DC motors wasted more amount of power. That's why this is not an advantage. For large DC motors, difficult to dissipate the large amount of heat generated at the brake drum also. And some of the disadvantages is the spring balance readings are not stable and it fluctuates while its rotor is rotating. The frictional torque at a particular settings of hand wheels do not maintain constant. These are the disadvantages of the brake test. I will take some numerical problems, how to solve these brake test problems by taking one example. Please note down this example. I think all of you note down this question. Now we will entering into solution for this problem. First we will write the given data. Then coming to the given data, the effective load is W1 minus W2. It is 38.1 kgs. Effective weight is given, and radius of the pulley is given, means is given diameter of the pulley in centimeters, but the standard unit of this pulley is in meters. Please convert this 65.5 centimeters into meters, and it is diameter. We want radius. We have a formula for radius is equal to diameter by 2. Then this is converted diameter into meters and divided by 2 will give the radius of the pulley. And this is 38.1 kg weights effective load. And then coming to the shaft torque, 38.1 weight and 0.315 is the radius. This is W1 minus W2 and this is radius. The unit is kg meters. Now we want to newtons. We will multiply with 9.81 for this step. We will get into Newton meters into torque. Then torque is equal to 118.6 Newton meters. This is only torque. Now the torque is substituted in the power output formula. The power output formula is equal to torque into angular velocity in radians per second. Then torque is equal to 118.60 from the previous slides, and angular velocity is equal to 2. Finally, I will get 8945 watts. This is the power output in watts. Then coming to the motor input is equal to 49 into 220 watts. 220 is the volts and 49 is the current. Please see this, 49 amperes is the current and 220 volts is the voltage. By multiplying these two, we will get the input power. Output power, as we are already calculated using this formula. We know that angular velocity is equal to 2 pi r. By substituting the 2 pi r, the power is in watts. We are getting 8945 is output power, and the motor power is from the input current and input voltage. From these values, the motor efficiency is calculated, output power divided by input power. Then the efficiency for this particular problem is 83%, and like this you have to calculate to solve the problems for direct methods or break test by break test method. Next, and I will take another numerical problem to get the grip on this break test problems. And the following readings are obtained when doing a load test on DC shunt motor using a brake drum test. And the spring balance readings are 10 kgs and 35 kgs. And this is spring 1 weight and this is spring 2 weight, or you can take any one. This is spring 2 and this is spring 2 and this is spring 1. And diameter of the drum is given centimeters. Please remember to convert the centimeters into meters. And speed of the motor is given 950 rpm, revolutions per minute. Then applied voltage is equal to 200 volts and line current is equal to 30 amperes. By multiplying these two, we will get the input power easily. Difficulty is only to get the output power. Then calculate output power and the efficiency. Next, we will start into the solution. Force on the drum is equal to difference between the weights, which given 35 minus 10 is equal to 25 kgs. And this is in kgs. We will convert into newtons. By multiplying with 9.81, we will get into newtons. Then drum radius is given 20 centimeters. We will convert into 0.2 meters. Meters is the standard unit. And torque is equal to force into radius. Force, this is a force and this is a radius. Finally, we will get to 49 newtons. Then speed is given in 950 rpm. We want to convert this rpm into revolutions per seconds, that is radians per second. 95.6 is the rps values. Then we will convert into this into 2 pi n. 2 pi and n. This is 99.5 radians per second. This is not a radians per second. This is a revolutions per second. That speed is converted into radians per second. Why? Because this is angular velocity. We want angular velocity. For angular velocity, we will multiply with this 2 pi with the speed in revolutions per second. Finally, we will get 99.5 radians per second. Then motor input is equal to input power, input voltage into input current. Finally, it is 6000 watts. Then coming to the efficiency, 4876 divided by 6000 means 4876 is nothing but, we know that formula, multiplied with this into torque. And while doing calculation, it is getting 81.3 around. And this efficiency of this particular problem is 81.3%. Like this, we have to calculate problems on brake test of DC motors. Till now we have discussed, in the last video lesson we have discussed about performance curves of DC motors, and in this video lesson I covered brake test on DC motors and how to determine the efficiency of a motor by direct test or brake test. By taking two examples, I want to give the summary for this today's video lesson. In the direct loading method, the DC machine is loaded and the output and inputs are measured to find the efficiency. For this purpose, two simple methods can be used. One is brake test, and another one, brake test is also called direct test, and second one is called indirect test. Then coming to the brake test, in this brake test of DC machine, a brake is applied to a water cooled pulley mounted on the motor shaft. Mounted on the motor shaft. One end of the rope is fixed to the floor via spring balance S and known as mass is suspended, and the other end, if the spring balance reading is in S in kg weight and the suspended mass has weight of W in kg weights, then the net pull on the rope as shown in this first slide. Net pull on the rope is equal given by the differences between the two weights, and it is multiplied with 9.81, we'll get the force into newtons. The radius of the pulley is in meters, it's okay. Otherwise, if the radius is given in centimeters, please convert into meters. Then the shaft torque is given by difference between these weights multiplied with 9.81 into radius of the pulley in meters. The unit of this is Newton meters. If the speed of the pulley is in revolutions per minute, then the output power formula is equal to 2 pi nt by 60. If the speed is not in RPM or revolutions per second, then no need to use of this denominator 60 value. Some brake text or direct test methods having disadvantages. Explained in this video lesson, spring balance readings are not stable. Why? Because when the motor is running, the spring will not, pointer is not at one position because of the variations in the speeds with running with high speeds. It cannot be at a particular point. That's why spring balance readings are not stable. There always fluctuates. Somehow the output power is wasted, and frictional torque at a particular setting does not be similar. In another methods, the motor drives calibrated generators, that is, one whose efficiency is known at all loads. The output of the generator is measured with the help of an ammeter and voltmeters. Because of several disadvantages, direct loading method is used only for determining the efficiency of small machines. Please note down one problem. In brake test on a DC shunt motor, the tensions on the two sides of the brake were 2.9 kg and 0.17 kg. Radius of the pulley was 7 centimeters. Input current was 2 amperes at 230 volts. The motor speed was 1500 rpm. Find the motor speed was 1500 rpm. Find torque, power output and efficiency. For this, first we will find net force on the pulley is equal to 2.9 minus 0.17 kgs, which is equal to 2.73 kg. This is in kg. When this one is multiplied with 9.81, we will get in newtons. The value of the net force on the pulley is equal to 26.78 newtons. Then torque is equal to force into radius. Then force is equal to 26.78, and radius of the pulley is given 7 centimeters. I will convert the 7 into meters by divided by 100. Then the torque is equal to 1.8746 Newton meters. Then power output is equal to torque into radians per second. Then torque is equal to 1.8746 multiplied with the 2 pi. The speed is given 1500 rpm. I will convert this 1500 rpm into RPS by dividing 16. Then 1.8746 into 2 pi into 1500 divided by 16. The power output is equal to 294 watts. And the efficiency is equal to output power divided by input power. Then the output power is equal to 294, just now calculated. And the input power is equal to input voltage is 230 and input current is 2 amperes. Then it is 460 watts. Then 294 by 460 is equal to 63.9% of efficiency for set problem. And this is a experiment of direct test, brake test in the laboratory for a shunt motor. And this is the circuit diagram for brake test on DC shunt motor. And this is, as I said, this is a spring 1 and this is a spring 2. And this is a water cooled pulley. It is mechanically coupled to this motor of the shunt motor. And this is shunt motor, and this is a wire wound resistance 50 ohms 5 amperes, and rheostat is connected in series with the armature, and this is a field winding. Now, rheostat is connected in series with the field for varying this speed, and this is a 3-point starter is required for conducting this test, and we want an ammeter and one voltmeter, and this is DPST double pole single throw switch, and this is a DC source. We want a DC source of 220 volt supply. First we will see whether this belt is freely around this pulley or not. Later we will switch on this DPST, then we will measure this voltmeter reading, and we will start this motor by using this 3-point starter, and slowly we will step on increasing this load on this motor step by step, and we will measure this ammeter readings. And this is an experiment of brake test on DC shunt motor, and we will write first the aim of this test, and later we will write the apparatus required for conducting this test. Required are ammeters, voltmeter, rheostat, and tachometer. Tachometer is used to measure the speed. Later we have to note down this nameplate details. What is the rating of this machine, and the voltage inputs and currents and speeds. Then we will write the procedure, and like this. Please read this procedure. First we will give the connection as per the circuit diagram, and keep the field rheostat RSH at a minimum resistance value for varying the speed. Check the belt on the pulley is free so that there is no load on the pulley. Initially we will start with no load values. Start the motor slowly by using a 3-point starter or 4-point starter, a drum type starter. Adjust the field current so that the motor runs at rated speed. If the motor is not running at rated speed, or the rated speed example is 1500 rpm, if it is running at 1300 rpm, we want to increase the speed. For that we will use flux control method. If the motor is running with higher speeds more than 1500 rpm, then we have to reduce the speeds. We will use armature current control method. Then apply the load on the pulley gradually in steps, tightening the belt around it. Take the readings of the ammeter and voltmeters connected to the motors, and the input to the 2 spring balance readings and the speed at every step by using tachometer. Cool the pulley throughout the load period by pouring water. Continue the experiment till full load on the motor is reached, and tabulate the observations. Then we will, this is a circuit diagram of the shunt motors, and this is test readings. We will first take the reading of the pulley we will get generally in radius, then we'll convert into meters, and we will write down, and we'll keep it is like that. Then this is the tabular form used for the conducting of a brake test, and in serial number 1, voltmeter reading we will take, and ammeter reading we will take, and spring balance we will know 2 springs are there, S1 S2 we will take, and we will take measurement of speed by using tachometer. Then for getting the efficiency, this is another tabular form, and current, speed, and input power, and output power is equal to 2 pi NT by 60. We will convert this into British horsepower. Then efficiency will be calculated for each readings. Then calculations is know that The torque is equal to 9.81, radius of the pulley S1 minus 16 Newton meters. The output power is equal to 2 pi n. T will get from this formula. It will be substituted here. Then the power output. If content to power output into BHP, we will divide it into 735.5. Then we will draw the plot for output power versus efficiency, output power versus torque, and output power versus current, and output power versus speed. All graphs are shown in this figure. You can see this is the graph drawn. This is the output power, and this is efficiency curve, and this is shunt motor means it's a starting current, starting torque. This is torque, and this is current, and this is speed. And there are some precautions are required to cool the pulley while the experiment is performed. While measuring the radius of the pulley, effective radius must be considered. And we will write the result for conducted test. And there are some important Viva questions. Generally on theories and generally on practicals, they will ask these questions. Like most of the important Viva questions are these. Please read these questions and prepare for attempting Viva on these brake test questions. And this test is similar for the other motors. Same data will be taken, and we will calculate for these calculations. Same formulas we will use, and we will plot these graphs for compound motors, series motors also. Thank you for watching my videos on brake test, and I think this video will helpful to know that how to conduct this test and how to tabulate during the test, and how to solve the problems, to know the efficiency and output power and input power in during brake test methods. Thank you very much. Yes, this is brake test on DC shunt motors, experimenting manual for DC shunt motor. First, we will write the aim. Aim will be like to perform the brake test on a given DC shunt motor and obtained the performance characteristics of the motor from test observations. Apparatus required: ammeter, voltmeter, rheostat, and tachometer. And this is a test on DC motors. We will use MC, moving coil ammeter, and moving coil voltmeters. And tachometer is to measure the speeds. And this is a shunt motor. We will place ammeters and voltmeters. Then after that, we will write this nameplate details. What is the power? Output power is how much? What is the voltage, and what is the current, and what is the rated speed? The standard ratings speeds, generally it is in the range of 1500 RPM. Then procedure is, we have to write like this. And first we will give the connections as per the circuit diagram, and the failed regulators and will be put in minimum mode, and check the belt whether it is freely moving around this pulley, and slowly we will start the motor by using starter. Adjust the field rheostat to get the rated speed. Apply the load on pulley gradually by step, and take the readings of ammeter, voltmeter, and speed by using tachometers. During this test, the pulley will be get heated. Cool the pulley by pouring water, and you will take this continue this experiment till the full load reading, the full load of the motor is reached, and tabulate the observations. DC, this is a circuit diagram. This is the DC is input supply voltage, and this is double pole single throw switch, and this is the fuse. And here voltmeter will be there, and here it is ammeter will be here. And this is the armature, and this is our pulley. This is spring 1 and this is spring 2. Actually, this ammeter is not, this ammeter is to know the field current, but we want an ammeter in this place also to know this, what is the input current is taking by this machine. This is 1 meter is here, ammeter is connected here. This is the voltage voltmeter across the supply, how much voltage is available applied across this machine, and we will place another ammeter, how much current is drawing, input current. This is a permanently connected platform. This is spring 1 and spring 2, and this is our pulley, and we will measure this radius from here to here. From that, we will take the test readings. First, we will find the radius of the pulley, and we will take the readings of the voltmeter and ammeters. Mainly, the ammeter reading is required from the low means input side, and we will take spring 1 and spring 2 weights in this tabular form, and we will measure the speed for each this table by using tachometer, and we will consolidate this table, and we will find the results by using the calculations. For that, input current and speed, input voltage and input power, output power and efficiency, output power, this value divided by this value will give the efficiency of this shunt machine. Coming to the calculation, first, as I said, first we will find the radius of the drum pulley. Calculation for every load conditions, the torque is equal to 9.81 into radius of the pulley, open the bracket, S1 minus S2 are spring balances, and power output is equal to 2 pi nt by 60. This T will get from this value, and we will plot all this with respect to output power. All means efficiency versus output power, torque versus output power, current versus output power, and speed versus output power. The input power is calculated voltmeter reading and ammeter reading towards the input sides by multiplying these two. The efficiency is equal to output power divided by input power. And you can see this model graph. And this efficiency will be increases as the load increases, and it will be attained at maximum, and after that it will again fall down. The maximum point when it reaches means we have a condition that is constant losses is equal to variable losses. At this point, it will nothing but constant loss is equal to variable losses, and the torque is proportional to the in shunt machine armature current. That's why it started from the origin. This is the torque curve, and this is the speed. Generally, the shunt motor is a constant speed motor. From no load to full load, the variation is very small. Even though the speed will fall as load increases, that we will neglect it, and that's why it's called constant speed motor. And this is the armature current curve. When even though there is no load, it is drawing some current. This current is to meet the no load power losses. Coming to the precautions, the pulley will be get heated. Please pour water continuously, means whenever we are taking the readings in between. While measuring the radius, take the effective radius. We will write the results. This was missed in my continuations video lessons. That's why I added this, how to conduct this brake test with the experimental lab manual shown here, and these are the Viva questions. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you very much.